Ever feel more frustrated, irritable, and on edge in the spring season, but you don't really know why? Maybe you're noticing your colleagues and people around you also holding a lot of tension and agitation and really having a very short fuse where they normally don't have that. Well, perhaps the spring season in traditional Chinese medicine can help you understand a little bit more about what may be going on and how you can do different things to help the smooth flow of your own qi so we can smooth out this transition into the spring season. That's what today's video is all about. Let's dive in. Hi everyone, I'm Vanessa from Blue Frog Wellness, and welcome to my channel where I share insights from traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, to help you better understand your health and well-being. Before we begin, I want to be clear that the information on this channel is for educational and informational purposes only. Although TCM has been practiced for well over 2,500 years, it is not a substitute for medical advice. If you happen to have a medical condition or concern, please do not hesitate to reach out to a professional healthcare practitioner. In TCM, the liver is associated with the liver organ, which is responsible for the smooth flow of our energy, our emotions, and our digestion. However, as energy arises and nature awakens in the spring, so does the movement of our liver energy. The problem is, it's not a smooth transition. You have to remember, we're coming out of hibernation, out of the winter, deep, cold, and inward season that we were in. And now all of a sudden we're trying to get this energy to come to the surface like a seedling coming to the light. However, it's never going to be a smooth transition. There's going to be periods of stopping and starting and clunkiness along the way. However, there are many things that you can do to smooth out the smooth transition from winter into spring, and in today's video we'll show you how. Spring is the season of growth, renewal, and expansion. Just as trees stretch their branches and new plants push through the soil, our bodies and minds naturally seek movement and fresh energy during this time. In TCM, the spring is ruled by the wood element, which governs the liver and gallbladder. These organs are responsible for detoxification and clearing out toxins from winter stagnation, smooth flow of qi, which ensures energy is moving freely in the body, and emotional balance, so helping us process anger, frustration, and stress. If your wood element is strong, you'll feel energized, flexible, and mentally clear. But if it's out of balance, you might experience stagnation, irritability, and digestive issues. And ladies, for those of you who struggle with PMS, all the different symptoms that we may have, bloating, cramping, back pain, some mood swings, a lot of irritability, a lot of just wanting to be isolated and not really interact with others during your period. This is exactly what is going on underneath the scenes. Your liver qi is actually stagnated or stuck. So it's stopping and starting and not moving smoothly and continuously. Therefore, you're noticing cramping and pain and bloating and all the irritability that comes with that. So all you have to do to have better periods is to literally regulate your qi flow. And there's many things you can do to do that. But just keep in mind that, especially if you're wondering why some months you have a really horrendous period and a lot of PMS symptoms and other times you don't, it seems to be a lot calmer and easier and, oh geez, I didn't even realize that this was my time of the month. The reason for those inconsistencies is likely whenever you have more PMS symptoms, you are going to have more liver qi stagnation. And in the months where it's more smooth and things are easier for you, that means your liver energy is actually flowing more smoothly. So adopt these things that you can do to smooth out your own qi flow, and you'll have better periods going forward. So signs of liver qi imbalance and stagnation. When the liver's energy is flowing smoothly, we feel calm, creative, and energized. But when the liver is stagnant or overloaded, we may experience physical signs such as tightness in the shoulders and neck tension, headaches or migraines, bloating, gas or indigestion, fatigue, and sluggishness. And emotionally, we might feel more irritable or mood swings. You might feel stuck or somehow unmotivated. And you might have an increased sense of frustration or impatience with others. If you're feeling or experiencing any of those, don't worry, we can rebalance your wood element by making simple changes to your lifestyle and diet. So how can we support the liver and work with the spring's energy? Let's explore that next. In spring, we want to eat foods that support detoxification, that aid in our digestion, and overall enhance the smooth flow of our energy. Here's some really good tips to help you in doing so. So foods such as leafy, greens, and bitter foods are going to really help move the liver. Foods like spinach, kale, dandelion greens, arugula, anything that has that bitter quality to it is really going to give you that movement that we're looking for. Even coffee has a bitter flavor. So this is where I'll recommend that you do have at least 1 cup of coffee in your day, especially if you can do without cream or sugar, because that bitter flavor is what we're looking for. Now, foods that are sour and fermented are also going to be very moving of the liver. So things like lemon, lime, apple cider vinegar, sauerkraut. If you're going to eat candy, eat the sour key candies, because that will at least move your liver energy. Not that I condone eating candy, but if you're going to, that's the best one. Cruciferous vegetables will always be helpful here as well. So broccoli, cabbage, bok choy, Brussels sprouts. And then also herbs and teas that you can use to support the smooth flow of energy are things like peppermint, milk thistle, chrysanthemum tea, and even just general lemon tea or lemon balm tea will help to move everything in your system. So it'll aid your digestion and help to detoxify as we move the liver energy of your body. So try adding more of these foods into your diet to support your liver and help your body transition to the spring season smoothly. Conversely, of course, we want to avoid some of the things that are going to impede the smooth flow of qi. So avoid really rich foods. So avoid deep fried greasy foods and really heavy pâtés and cheeses and things that you know just tend to slow down digestion or tend to block things up. Obviously, we want to avoid that as much as possible to get your liver energy moving here. So since spring is all about movement and renewal, we want to find ways to move our bodies. And here we want to be gentle. We don't want to just jump right into something that's very aggressive or requires a lot of us physically and mentally in terms of exercise. So we want to do things that are going to be very easy on our bodies. So walking, swimming, cycling, gentle movements like Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga. I highly recommend more yin yogas or more Iyengar-based yoga practices here so that we gently get things stimulated and moving rather than forcefully forcing movement in our bodies. So move your qi by doing things like stretching, yoga, light exercises like walking. Of course, anytime you spend time in nature, you'll move your liver energy because nature typically is surrounded by the wood element. Trees, plants, bushes, all of that will definitely enhance our liver energy and our wood element. So we want to get into nature as much as possible. If you're a gardener, get planting. If you're someone who likes to go for walks in the park, go for a walk in the park. Maybe you like to spend time hiking in the mountains. Definitely do that, or doing some sort of river activity or water-based activity. Definitely get out into nature as much as possible in the spring. Of course, you can always do acupuncture. Acupuncture is a great way to move your energy in general, but especially of the liver. We can definitely help smooth over those periods of irritability and frustration and get things moving for you really quickly with even one treatment. And lastly, you want to declutter your space. Again, you don't want that feeling of congestion or restriction or being impeded in any way. You want to be able to move freely throughout your space, your office, whatever working environment you're in. So declutter your space, clear things out. You always feel better. You feel lighter. You can mentally think better. So that's really what you need to do to be able to enhance your mental and emotional well-being from the liver perspective or during the spring season. So by making these simple shifts to embrace the spring's energy, you'll be left feeling more restored, more refreshed, more focused, and more balanced. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What is your favorite way to reset and refresh in the spring season? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more TCM tips. See you in the next one.